Hey, work from homers, Adam Schrader here. We love bringing you this podcast, and thousands of you have proven that it's been helpful for you. But since time and online storage space aren't free, Naresh and I wanted to come to you personally to ask for your financial support through Patreon. Go to patreon.com/workfromhomeshow and help support the show. And we appreciate your support at any amount you choose. That's patreon.com/workfromhomeshow. Thanks for your support. Let's get to the show.
Forced to work from home by your employer? Laid off or feeling depressed at home? Do you want to make money working from anywhere? We'll show you how to do it from your couch. It's time for another episode of the Work From Home Show. Coming to you from their homes in Austin, Texas and Tampa, Florida, here are your hosts, Adam and Naresh.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Work From Home Show. I'm Naresh, this with Adam Schrader, and today we have Dara Torres on the show. For those who have not heard of her, she is a celebrity, a 12-time Olympic medalist, former world record holder in 3 events. She's the first swimmer to represent the U.S. in 5 different Olympic Games. That is incredible. And at the age of 41, she became the oldest swimmer to earn a place on the U.S. Olympic team. She's also the best-selling author of Age is Just a Number, Achieve Your Dreams at Any Stage in Your Life. So I wanted to get Dara on the show to talk about, number one, the longevity of her career and just how successful she's been, and to talk about her adversity. And then number 2, to share some information and tips for our listeners who are working from home, who have children at home, which she does, and how best to optimize your time. So Dara, welcome to the Work From Home Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the great introduction, too.
Yeah, let's first start. Let's set the stage by talking a bit about your journey and your career so our listeners understand who you are and why you're on our show. So let's start with your Olympic comeback as a new mother at the age of 41. Let's start there, and also just your journey from Olympian athlete to mother to raising kids at home, and just the overall journey.
Well, it's something I didn't ever think I would do. I remember when I was at my 4th Olympics in 2000, I got asked by a reporter, well, you just took 7 years off, you came back, you swam at these Olympics, won 5 medals. You can do that again in another 8 years at 41. And I thought, God, that's a really stupid question. There's no way. I mean, when you're younger, your parents are in their 40s and you think that's just really old. So I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be swimming into my 40s. I just, I got challenged, got the itch, and had just had my daughter and thought, it'd be pretty cool to try to go for an Olympic team when not a lot of, mothers have tried that before. And maybe I can set the stage to show that it doesn't have to be something that you're scared to do just because you're a mom. So that was really sort of the reason why I had wanted to try it and go for a 5th Olympic team after having my daughter.
Can you talk a little bit about, just the whole, coming from the parent perspective, your career as you started at, racing at a very young age and then continued throughout it, I guess it's going to come across maybe a little bit harsh, but how do we know how much to push our children when it comes to, actually achieving this? And in terms of pushing ourselves as well, like when do we know what's too much? Because, you taking on, Olympic training around the time you have a kid, to me as, parent of 4, I can't even imagine training for even a half marathon, whenever my first kid was born, and you're out here, doing the Olympic training. When do you know the training is enough or too much, or, when to push yourself?
I think it's kind of all from within. When I was younger, obviously my parents pushed me, but not to the point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. Sometimes you have some parents that push too hard where the kids are just like, I can't do this anymore. But I had great parents that just sort of let me do my thing and in my own time. As I got older, I didn't know what to expect. I just had my daughter. She was a baby. I basically swam in my first meet about 3 weeks after having her. And it was just something I thought I'd try. And I didn't really think I'd be training for an Olympics after that. And sort of one thing led to another. And I thought, okay, well, how am I going to do this? I have an infant at home, and this is my first daughter at 39 years old, and I need to figure out how, if I'm going to do this, how do I balance that? And so I really look to working parents out there as my inspiration to sort of teach me that it's okay to do what you love to do. And also, you can also be a great parent at the same time. So that's kind of what got me going, I guess.
We have Dara Torres on the show, 12-time Olympic medalist, best-selling author of Age is Just a Number, Achieve Your Dreams at Any Stage in Life. Dara, to all our listeners at home, working from home, what are your best tips for them and also for their children so they can stay fit, age gracefully, and pursue their dreams?
Well, for parents, you can always find things to do. You can take walks around the block with your kids. You can go take cans of food and do some bicep curls or tricep curls or do some push-ups or, run in place, or there's always something you can do. So I'm not good with excuses. I always try to find a way to work out. Even if I'm quarantining at home, I try to do that. The other thing is you want to keep kids physically and mentally active during these months, whether you live in a cold place or they're quarantining and they're doing school online. It's very important in order to have your kid grow up to be happy and healthy by doing something active. And there's this new app that just launched in the US. It's called Elanation, Elanation. And if you go to elanation.com, you can learn more about it. But it's your number one health and fitness app for kids. And there's over 1,000 skills taught by world-class athletes, coaches, chefs. There's cooking on there for kids, yoga. There's about 26 different sports, and it ranges from dance and basketball to soccer, gymnastics, yoga. They add new sports each month. It's so great for the kids because as a parent, it's so hard to get your kids motivated. And I'm an Olympic athlete and my kid's not motivated by me. So when you have something out there helping a parent to get your kids active, and then the kids love it because it's on a screen, but it's healthy screen time, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Can you talk a little bit about, you went from being an Olympic athlete to now you're kind of a serial entrepreneur, it looks like, from whenever I was reading your bio. Kind of how has been the athlete training and the whole mindset of that helped you in your business career post-Olympics? That's
a great question. One of the things that I learned from training and being active and doing different sports, you learn about time management, you learn about sacrifices, you learn about dedication, you learn about hard work. And it's amazing when you learn those things, it's amazing how it trickles out into every other aspect of your life outside of the activity that you're doing. It really does. I know that when there was a point in time when I didn't swim for a few months, when I was in college and I was going between finishing my college swimming collegiate career to playing on a collegiate volleyball team. I had another year left of eligibility. During that time frame that I wasn't doing anything, oh my gosh, my grades dropped. I had no motivation. It's just really amazing how important exercise and activity is, no matter what level you're at. And that's why this app is so great, is because there's so many different things you can do on this app. You don't get bored by doing just one thing. There's, like I said, thousands of skills, and that's taught by the best in the world. How can you ask for anything better than that for your kids?
Yeah, and we've talked a lot on this show about fitness and exercise and taking your vitamins and vitamin supplementation and sleep. It's not just about working from home and making money. It's about staying fit because this helps you. It helps you in business. It helps you stay more focused at work. And I remember when I was younger, like you said, if you're doing nothing, you're not working out, you're just at home watching TV. I remember my grades in high school went down compared to when I was on the basketball team and on the racquetball team and lifting weights. So I don't know if there's scientific research behind this, but I've gone through it and I found that the busier I keep myself, the more productive I am, as crazy as that sounds.
There's definitely some connection there because, it's funny if my grades ever dropped when I was growing up, my dad would be like, all right, you're not swimming anymore. That'd make it worse for me. It wouldn't make it better, because
most parents are like that.
You need something to focus on. And when you learn to focus on something that you're enjoying to do, like these sports on this app, you become more focused on other things in your life. And so that's why it's so important when I say that kids need to keep physically active, it helps their mentality too.
And looking at, whenever you came back into the, really hardcore competitive swimming after your years away, there's a lot of people right now who are at home, kind of feel secluded, and they might think, I want to start a business, or I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm kind of an outsider. I haven't really done it before. You obviously came back in. You had been an insider, obviously, doing all your Olympic stuff, and then you kind of became an outsider when you stopped. What gave you the conviction to say, I'm good enough to jump back in now, or I want to jump in back now and, compete against these people, and kind of giving the people who are sitting at home thinking, I'm too old to start this new business, or I don't know enough to start this new business, and kind of giving them any inspiration you have?
Well, it was never I'm good enough to do this, because I never knew, because there were so many, about 3 different times I took, I retired thinking that I was actually done.
Yeah, but then you decided later, hey, I'm not done. Let's go dominate.
I think it's really important, no matter what you're doing, to set goals. And so for me, when I decided to make whatever Olympics it was that I decided to make a comeback in, let's take, for example, the one where I was 7 years off between 92 and 99. I hadn't touched the water after the 92 Olympics and for 7 years. And then I got back in. I had no idea how I was going to do. But you know what? I set that goal. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I set, probably monthly goals or tri-monthly goals, and would try to attain those goals. And if I did, then I'd set a new goal. And I think that's really important, no matter what you're doing, is to set goals.
Can you talk a little bit about your transition then from like when you retired, like the mindset of, coming from the hard charging athlete, I'm sure you were practicing multiple hours every day, and then coming down into the quote unquote retirement that you were in. Can you talk a little bit about those transitions?
Yeah, you know what? I think I was especially lucky because I had a child, and I swam my last event in Beijing in 2008. The next day I went to go see the wall, the Great Wall. And then I left after that. Like, I didn't even want to stay. I just wanted to get home and see my daughter, because I hadn't seen her in almost 6 weeks. And so when I got home, it literally was like back to usual. I mean, even though I just won 3 medals and people were making a big deal about it, the next day I was up getting my kid ready for, nursery school, taking her to nursery school, going grocery shopping. It was just like I went from like one extreme to another extreme. And that's just how I live. Like, I don't live in the past. I live in the moment and live day to day. And so, okay, what's next? Yeah, okay, I won 3 silver medals, but now I got to take care of my daughter and do this. So I always have something keeping me busy, and I think that's very important. I think one of the things about this Ella Nation app is that there's so many different things for kids to do. I really looked to my mom as a role model growing up, and there were 6 of us, and she had us in all different sports because she had no idea what she wanted us to do. So with this app, there's so many different things that these kids can learn. And it's not the parents saying, okay, you're going to be a tennis player, you're going to be a basketball player. They go on there and they can figure out what they like, and whether they're good at it or not. As long as they love it and they're being active, that's what's most important.
Can you walk us through the Ella Nation app? How does it work? Is it for kids of all ages? Do parents need to supervise? I've just never, for example, played. I see cricket is a sport you have here. I've never played cricket through a phone.
No, well, it started off over across the pond, like in Australia. So, cricket's on there, and I know a lot of the U.S. people don't know cricket, but we're just launching this now in the U.S., so they're getting more U.S. sports on there. But it's pretty cool. You go onto the ellanation.com website, and you can download the app there, or you can download it on your Apple Store or at Google Play. It's $49.99 for the year, which is about 13 cents a day. And you can have up to 4 accounts per family on this app. So it's a great deal. And the kids will just scroll through there, see how it's all done. They can pick the sports they want to do or the skills. They have, like I said, the top athletes and coaches, teaching these kids what to do. You have, for example, DJ Devaney. He's the #1 freestyle soccer player in the U.S. He teaches them some really cool tricks with the ball. You have Nikki Crocker, who's a Broadway dancer. DJ Sackman, he's an NBA skills coach and world-renowned basketball coach. So they have some really cool people on there that the kids learn from. And the great thing as a parent is you're not, trying to pull teeth, trying to get them to do some activity. They actually love it. And the kids can earn points and medals for learning and trying new skills. I think the age range is probably like around between 6 and 15. But I was on there trying to learn dance moves because I have TikTok, and my daughter is mortified about the way I dance. So I'm trying to learn some dance moves so she's not so mortified every time I post a TikTok. So it's really a lot of fun, and you can do it as a family, and the kids just love it.
What are your thoughts on kids specializing on sports at a young age?
It's hard to say. Like for me personally, like I said, my mom really had me doing a bunch of different sports. It just happened that as I did more sports and I was still doing swimming, swimming was what my love was. I wasn't necessarily that I was better at that than any other sport. It's just that's what I loved. And then I got better once I stayed in that sport. But I also think it's really important after all my years of being in sport to make sure that you mix it up, because you can become very, very, it could be like you get stuck in kind of a rut doing the same thing over and over again. So you want to make sure that you broaden your kids, activities and let them figure out what they want to do. I mean, when I was training for the '84 Olympics, I was still playing volleyball in high school, because I know that volleyball is going to help me with my push-offs and jumping and stuff. So, there's a lot of sports that are on this app that maybe you don't necessarily have done before, but it may help you with other things in your athletic career or just with activities.
Dara Torres, 12-time Olympic medalist and former world record holder in 3 events, author of Age is Just a Number, Achieve Your Dreams at Any Stage in Your Life. The 2 websites are daratorres.com, DARATORRES, daratorres.com, and also the Ella Nation app. It's ellanation.com, elanation.com. Dara Torres, thank you so much for joining us on the Work From Home show. This has been a truly valuable interview. We wish you all the best on your future endeavors on Ella Nation, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much. It's so nice chatting with you guys.
To all our listeners, check us out at www.workfromhomeshow.com. That's workfromhomeshow.com. Get on our mailing list. Our email is hello@workfromhomeshow.com. Homies, homeboys, homegirls, home trans, all the work from homers out there, thank you so much for listening to us again. And until next week, keep on working from home.